Hey everyone, welcome to the Esports History Museum. If you're new here, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and ring the bell so you never miss an update from us. Today, we're diving into the fascinating history of a gaming mouse that changed the industry, the Razer Boomslang. The Razer Boomslang, just the name itself sounds like something out of a sci-fi movie, but for those that were there, the Boomslang is a legendary piece of gaming history. Launched in the late 90s, this mouse was a game changer, literally. Just hearing the name might conjure images of a venomous snake or perhaps a high-speed aircraft. But for gamers who've been around for a while, the Boomslang is nothing short of iconic. Launched in 1999, this mouse was a revolutionary product that shook the gaming world to its core. Now, why was it called the Boomslang, you ask? Well, the name is actually inspired by an African tree snake known for its agility and precision, qualities that Razer wanted to embody in their groundbreaking mouse. It was a bold move to name a tech product after a snake, but then again, Razer has always been about pushing boundaries. The Boomslang wasn't just another mouse on the market, it was a statement. It was Razer's way of saying, hey, we understand gamers, we know what you need, and we're here to deliver. And deliver they did. With its sleek design, high DPI, and customizable features, the Boomslang was unlike anything gamers had seen before. But what really made the Boomslang a legend was its timing. The late 90s were a golden era for PC gaming with titles like Quake, Unreal Tournament, and Half-Life dominating the scene. Gamers were hungry for hardware that could keep up with the fast-paced action, and the Boomslang was the answer to their prayers. Before the Boomslang, the market was dominated by generic mice that were not specifically designed for gaming. Gamers were craving something more, something that could enhance their gaming experience. And that's where Razer stepped in. Now, imagine trying to play a fast-paced first-person shooter or a complex real-time strategy game with such a mouse. It's like trying to paint a masterpiece with a broom. Possible, but far from ideal. Gamers were making do, but they were far from satisfied. They were yearning for something that could give them the edge in increasingly competitive online arenas. And it wasn't just about performance. Comfort was a big issue too. Long gaming sessions with a poorly designed mouse could lead to wrist strain and fatigue. Gamers were literally aching for a solution. Some even resorted to DIY modifications, adding weights or changing the shape of their mice just to get that extra bit of comfort or control. Companies had started to notice this gap in the market, but none had really nailed the perfect solution. There were attempts to create gaming-specific mice, but these often fell short in one aspect or another, be it design, performance, or reliability. The gaming community was ripe for a revolution, and that's precisely the void that Razer aimed to fill with the Boomslang. The Boomslang was the brainchild of Robert Razer Guy Krakoff and Minliang Tan, the co-founders of Razer. They saw the gap in the market and decided to fill it with a mouse that had high DPI, ergonomic design, and programmable buttons. The story of the Razer Boomslang is a tale of vision and innovation, and it all began with two men, Robert Razer Guy Krakoff and Minliang Tan. Krakoff, a veteran in the computer peripherals industry, and Tan, a young entrepreneur with a background in law, found themselves united by a common passion, gaming. The duo met in the late 90s, a time when the gaming industry was booming but the hardware was lagging. They quickly realized that they had complementary skills. Krakoff had the industry experience and connections, while Tan brought fresh ideas and an understanding of what gamers truly wanted. After countless brainstorming sessions and prototypes, they finally arrived at a design that would become the Boomslang. But creating the mouse was only half the battle. They also had to convince manufacturers to take a risk on this new specialized product. Remember, this was a time when the idea of a gaming-specific mouse was still novel, and many were skeptical. But Krakoff and Tan were relentless. They invested their own money, sought out the best engineers, and even went as far as to develop their own driver software to ensure that the Boomslang would offer unparalleled customization. They were not just creating a mouse, they were creating an entire ecosystem around it. Finally, in 1999, the Boomslang was launched, and it was met with immediate acclaim. It was clear that Krakoff and Tan had not just created a new product, they had created a new category of products. The specialized gaming mouse was born, and the rest, as they say, is history. What really set the Boomslang apart were its features. It was one of the first mice to offer up to 2000 DPI, which was unheard of at the time. It also had an ambidextrous design and came with its own driver software, allowing for customization. First and foremost, the DPI, or dots per inch. The Boomslang was one of the first mice to offer up to 2000 DPI. To put that into perspective, most standard mice at the time were hovering around 400 DPI. This was a quantum leap in terms of sensitivity and precision, allowing gamers to make quicker and more accurate movements. But Razer didn't stop there. They also introduced an ambidextrous design, making the Boomslang accessible to both left-handed and right-handed gamers. This was a big deal because, believe it or not, left-handed gamers were often overlooked in the peripheral market. Another standout feature was the programmable buttons. The Boomslang came with 7 programmable buttons, allowing gamers to assign specific functions or macros for quicker access during gameplay. This level of customization was practically unheard of at the time. And let's not forget the driver software. Razer developed its own software to go along with the Boomslang, giving users the ability to fine-tune their settings from DPI to button assignments. This was a game changer as it allowed gamers to tailor the mouse to their specific needs and preferences. Last but not least, the design itself was a work of art. With its sleek, futuristic look and ergonomic shape, the Boomslang was as much a statement piece as it was a functional tool. It was clear that every aspect of the mouse, from the materials used to the placement of the buttons, was meticulously thought out. The Boomslang quickly gained a cult following. Gamers loved its precision and customization options. It wasn't just a mouse, it was a tool that could give you an edge in competitive gaming. So, we've talked about the visionaries behind the Boomslang and the groundbreaking features that set it apart. But what about its impact on the gaming community? Well, let me tell you, it was nothing short of transformative. When the Boomslang was released, it was like a breath of fresh air for gamers. Finally, here was a mouse that understood their needs, a mouse that spoke their language. It wasn't just a tool, it was an extension of the gamer, a piece of equipment that could genuinely give you an edge in competitive gaming. The high DPI and customizable buttons meant that players could react faster and more accurately in games. Whether you were sniping in a first-person shooter or micromanaging units in a real-time strategy game, the Boomslang gave you the precision you needed to excel. And it wasn't just the hardcore gamers who took notice. The Boomslang started to gain traction among casual gamers as well. People who had never thought much about their mouse suddenly found themselves considering an upgrade. The Boomslang became a status symbol, a way to show that you were serious about your gaming. The mouse also had a ripple effect on the industry. Its success proved that there was a lucrative market for high-end specialized gaming peripherals. This opened the floodgates for other companies to enter the space, leading to the wide variety of gaming mice we see today. But perhaps the most lasting impact of the Boomslang was on the culture of gaming itself. It showed that gamers were not a niche audience to be ignored, but a significant community that demanded quality and innovation. The Boomslang faced criticisms for its high price tag and some initial software bugs, but Razer was quick to address these issues, solidifying their reputation for quality and customer service. Now, as much as we'd love to say that the Boomslang's journey was all smooth sailing, that wouldn't be the whole truth. Like any pioneering product, the Boomslang had its share of challenges and criticisms. First up, the price tag. The Boomslang was not a budget-friendly option, and this was a point of contention for many gamers. At a time when you could get a standard mouse for around $20, the Boomslang came in at a whopping $100 or more. For many, this was a steep price to pay, even for the added features and performance. Another issue was the software. While the Boomslang's driver software was revolutionary in offering customization options, it was also plagued with bugs in its early days. Users reported issues ranging from installation difficulties to compatibility problems with certain games. And let's not forget the learning curve. The Boomslang was a radical departure from the mice that most gamers were used to. Its high sensitivity and array of programmable buttons required some getting used to. For some, this was an exciting challenge. For others, it was a frustrating hurdle. But here's where Razer's commitment to quality really shone through. The company took these criticisms to heart and worked diligently to address them. Software updates were rolled out to fix bugs, and the company even offered support guides to help users get the most out of their Boomslang. In fact, the way Razer handled these challenges became a case study in effective customer service. They didn't just sell a product, they built a community around it, engaging with users, listening to their feedback, and continually improving the product based on that feedback. The Boomslang set the stage for what was to come in the world of gaming peripherals. It was the precursor to many of Razer's future products and inspired other companies to up their game. No pun intended. Its high DPI, programmable buttons, and customizable software became the benchmark for future gaming mice, not just from Razer but from other companies as well. It essentially eventually created a new category in the market, paving the way for the plethora of specialized gaming mice we see today. But the Boomslang's influence extended beyond just the technical specs. Its success also validated the idea that gamers were willing to invest in high-quality specialized gear. This opened up new opportunities for innovation in other gaming peripherals like keyboards, headsets, and even gaming chairs. Moreover, the Boomslang had a lasting impact on Razer as a company. The mouse's success gave Razer the confidence and the capital to expand its product line, eventually becoming the multifaceted gaming brand we know today. From laptops to software, Razer's portfolio has grown exponentially, but it all started with the Boomslang. And let's not forget the cultural impact. The Boomslang became a symbol of serious gaming, a badge of honor worn by those who were committed to their craft. Even today, vintage Boomslang mice are considered collector's items, a nostalgic nod to a bygone era of gaming. And there you have it, folks, the story of the Razer Boomslang, a mouse that changed the gaming world. If you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up, and let us know in the comments what other gaming history topics you'd like us to cover. Until next time, keep gaming and have fun.